The man was tidying up the table when he noticed something bizarre. The water on the table was absorbed by the chicken feet. As a physicist, the man immediately realized that this was not a normal phenomenon. So he began to search the internet. But he couldn't find the answer even after a long time. In order to prevent the chicken feet from oxidizing, he put the chicken feet in the microwave. The next day, when the man opened the microwave, he found that the chicken feet were gone. He began to look around. Finally, he found the chicken claws under a cluster of sunlight. But to his shock, the chicken claws seemed to have gotten bigger. Curious, the man reached out his hand, but the chicken claw also held his hand. Not only was the man not afraid, he even smiled. It turned out that the man had a strange hobby. He likes to collect all kinds of strange things. He found this chicken claw on the side of the road yesterday. After only 3 days, the chicken claw had grown to the size of an adult's arm. To stop it from growing, the man put it in the refrigerator. Then he locked it with a chain. But just as he was drinking water, there was a noise in the kitchen. When he opened the fridge, he found the chicken claw was gone. Soon after, at night, there was another noise in the kitchen. The man had the courage to take a flashlight and went to the kitchen. He opened the refrigerator and found a horrible sight. The chicken's claws had grown into a monster. It was still covered in blood. There's a heart on the table next to it. At that moment, there was a knock on the door. The man opened the door and saw 2 policemen standing at the door. The police said the man's ex-wife had been killed. But the man looked very sad. The police left without finding any clues. Back in his room, the man began to search for information. But then the monster crept over to him. The sound of the monster startled the man. He had the courage to turn his head. But the monster suddenly rushed towards him. The man was terrified, but the monster came to him and didn't attack him. The man was no longer afraid. He named the monster Bob. Then he went to the kitchen and cleaned up the blood on the floor. That day, he received a call from a debt collector. The man asked to return the money later because he didn't have it. But the collector told him to pay now. The man yells at him and hangs up. This scene was also seen by Bob. A few days later, Bob walked in with a garbage bag in his mouth. The man opened it and inside was the tongue of the debt collector. It turned out that Bob had taken the man as his master. Anyone who went against the man was taken care of by Bob. Soon the man was in jail. But when the police asked the man why he killed, the man kept emphasizing that he didn't hurt anyone. What's even stranger is that the police didn't find any clues in the man's house.